One of the highlights of researching my latest crime thriller, which is Widow's Island, was being extremely lucky to meet an FBI special agent. Um, this isn't easy, as many authors will tell you, and to actually be able to sit down and have a coffee with a special agent in the FBI and ask them questions is a real privilege. I remember distinctly the process that I had to go through, and of course, it involved a degree of preparing questions, making sure that they were approved. And I remember, because I had never met her before, there was no information on her. And I remember emailing her and saying, well, if we're meeting at a cafe, can you describe yourself? Because I don't know what you look like. And I remember distinctly that she emailed back and said, don't worry, I know what you look like. And that made me think, oh no, I've probably been checked out, which of course I most certainly had. Anyway, so we met at this cafe, and I knew who it was as she walked down the road because she was looking straight at me. And she was with another person who actually recorded the discussion we had. What was wonderful about it was how open she was about talking about, impacts on your personal life of the role, working in the FBI, threat to family, of course, and, even really kind of quite touching comments about, for instance, when you're young and you're in the FBI and you're a female, it's really hard to find a date. You know, she was saying, well, look, let's be real here. You meet a guy and he says, so what do you do? And you go, oh, I'm an agent in the FBI. And most of them apparently run a mile, or, become a little bit awkward, to say the least. And I can imagine that happening. I can imagine that might be quite intimidating. And the other thing I remember distinctly was that I had dressed in a suit, to meet her, and she was in a suit too. And when she came up to me, I put my hand out to shake it. And what really surprised me, was that she enveloped me in a hug. And I hadn't expected that at all. And she said, thank you. Thank you for coming all this way to talk to me. And I really appreciate it that you're actually going to the trouble of finding out what we really do before you write your novel. And the other thing, of course, I remember coming from a country where, yes, our police officers are armed, but the weapons, it's an unusual situation to see somebody with a gun. Was that when she hugged me, the only thing I remember thinking was, oh my gosh, she's got a gun in a holster and I can feel it pressing into my ribcage. And it just made me realise how very real it was, her role. But I hope that I've done, at least, I hope, an adequate job of representing the supporting character in this book. So the supporting character is an FBI agent. The main character is Stephanie Miller. But you'll find out more about her, I hope, later. Thank you for listening.